You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 23 of the Battered Heat Fans Podcast, a special Best in the East episode, and also a very happy birthday to Mr. Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you for the birthday wishes, and unfortunately, I'm not in my 30s anymore, man. I'm not in my 30s. Turned the big 4-0 today, and there's nothing to be doing better on your birthday than talking about how great the Miami Heat are. So I'm excited to get into this with you, Danny.
And you'll be going to the game tonight.
Absolutely, celebrating my birthday at the Kaseya Center, Heat Bucks, and hopefully they can give me a beautiful birthday present, win, and clinch a spot in the next round in the NBA Cup, and that'll just continue to build on what we're saying, that the Heat,
season.
Exactly, the Heat are the best team in the East right now.
Okay, well, I don't want to go on just quite yet. I know that you came out and said that I'm starting to get there, but I don't want to get there just quite yet. But I figure we can have a right. This will be best way to see. Are you the best? Let's see what else is out there. So you ready to start? Let's do this. The Washington Wizards. We're gonna start from bottom to top. Are we better than the Washington Wizards?
I mean, is there a reason to even put their logo up there?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're in the East. So, okay. So the Washington Wizards cleared them. Beautiful. The defending Eastern Conference champion, Indiana Pacers. Would you say we're better than them?
Absolutely. No Miles Turner anymore. No Tyrese Halliburton. Absolutely. The Heat are above them, no doubt.
The Brooklyn Nets, tank mode activated. Michael Porter Jr., the most entertaining thing that's coming out of there with his podcast. Are we better than the Brooklyn Nets?
No doubt. Absolutely. We are much better than the Brooklyn Nets.
Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball wants out. Are we better than the Charlotte Hornets?
Well, we've got 2 wins against them this year, so no doubt the Heat are better than the Charlotte Hornets.
All right. The Milwaukee Bucks.
We'll find out tonight, right? We'll find out tonight. Possibly no Giannis tonight. Possibly no Giannis. So yeah, they're 8-10. They're 8-10. They're outside of the playoff picture, looking in right now. But the Bucks are always a tough matchup for the Heat. I still think the Heat are better than the Bucks.
Well, and not everybody can go ahead and win games when their best players are missing, like the Heat have been doing this year. So
absolutely,
the Boston Celtics.
Nobody likes the Celtics. Nobody likes the Celtics. They're missing Jason Tatum. They got rid of Kristaps Porzingis. They got rid of Al Horford. They got rid of all their guys. All they have left right now is Jaylen Brown, right? And I don't think that they're better than the Heat just with one good player like that.
No, and they're 9-8. They haven't looked great. They looked a little better than I thought, but they haven't looked great. The Chicago Bulls, they started off on fire this season. Come back to earth a bit. They are currently, what's their record?
9-8.
They are 9-8, and we beat them last week in Chicago. Are we better than the Bulls?
No doubt, no doubt. Who the hell is Josh Giddey? Who is Matej Bucelis? Who are these guys? A bunch of pretenders. Heat much better than the Bulls this year.
All right, let's keep moving on. Orlando Magic. Now, to be clear, they got Desmond Bane last year to help with their 3-point woes because they were horrible shooting the 3 last year. They're shooting 35%, which is, I think, 20th. Still struggling from the outside. I thought I had here. But Orlando had a rough start to the year, much rougher than people expected. Your thoughts on the Orlando Magic? Are we better than the Orlando Magic?
Yeah, I think we're definitely better than the Orlando Magic, but we're starting to get closer to the teams that we're going to compete against the Heat in the East. And I think the Magic are one of those teams that when they're healthy, they can be a really good team. Unfortunately, they haven't been that great to start the season, but it's still early. But to answer your question, absolutely. Miami Heat are better than the Orlando Magic.
What's funny is that I think Franz Wagner is an absolute baller. And I forget where I was hearing somewhere that they said that maybe he's not fitting in. It was such a weird thing to say. I feel like he him and Banchero are like the nucleus of that team. But some people are saying that maybe they don't mess well together. So that's interesting. But yes, okay. So far, I agree with you. Even though we lost to them opening night, I felt like first game in the new offense, a couple offensive rebounds by Wendell Carter away from winning that game. And shout out to Wendell Carter because everybody apparently is giving him props for dating. What's her face? The one that's always beefing with Caitlin Clark. Uh,
Oh,
Angel Reese. Angel
he's
Reese.
dating Angel Reese.
Yeah, apparently that's what I heard.
She's dating
So
that bum.
yeah, yeah, Randall in Orlando. But, you know. The Philadelphia 76ers. Oh no, look, there he goes. Are we better than the 76ers?
I mean, we proved it on Sunday, right? You know, those bums with Paul George. Man, let me tell you, I can't stand the 76ers. It's one of the stadiums that I've been to the most to watch away games.
Really?
And those,
Is there a
yeah,
reason
and
why?
those, yeah, I had an aunt that used to live just over the bridge in Cherry Hill. And so I would
Okay.
go visit her a lot. And my favorite thing to do was to go, watch,
Watch
the
basketball.
76ers or watch hockey or watch sports. And so I've been to the Xfinity Center quite a few times to watch the Heat and also just to watch the Sixers. One of my most worst favorite places to watch games. The fans are brutal. But yeah, the Heat, like we proved on Sunday, we are better than the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm
Yeah,
glad they
no,
went back to the old logo, though, to the old, logo and the old court. I thought that was cool.
oh yeah, but that's the city edition for this year, kind of like our Vice. But yeah, that was very cool. Is that the black jersey that they were wearing that game? Very nostalgic, and I don't blame you for going to watch the Sixers if it was back when Iverson was there, because I was obsessed with Allen Iverson back in the day. I had his stupid zipper shoes
Oh,
and
me
all that
too.
other stuff.
Everybody had his
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah, man. I used to love Allen Iverson. Shout out to AI. I think he's on his team with Eric Snow as you said. Random ass Atlanta Hawks. Are we better than the Atlanta Hawks?
The Hawks are good, man. The Hawks are good this year. Obviously, they're missing their best player. And look, when he comes back, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I do think that the Heat right now are a better team than the Atlanta Hawks. One of the things that we've talked about a lot is trades, right? And we don't know what's going to happen with and now I'm blanking on his name with their point guard. But
Young?
yeah, yep, yep. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. There's been a lot of rumblings in the league, a lot of fake trades going around. But we'll see what happens. Heat definitely better than those Hawks.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons I think that the Heat are so good, before I move on to the next couple teams, is because I feel like the Heat have had a crazy start to the season as far as the schedule goes. And despite the fact that they've been injured quite a bit, we still haven't seen the Heat at full strength. They've been winning those games. Whereas in the Hawks, these are the teams that they've beaten. They've beaten the Hornets, the Pelicans, the Suns, the Kings, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Nets, the Pacers again. So they've been beating up, and of course, you play who's on the schedule. You beat up on who's on the schedule. But I think that when their schedule starts to get a little harder, they're going to come back to earth. I don't believe in the Hawks. I think they're a playoff team, possibly play-in team, but I don't believe in them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this: the Heat have one of the toughest schedules to start the season. I believe this is their toughest month, the month of November, because they play basically all teams who have made the playoffs last year. Most games against playoff teams from last year than any other month in their schedule this season. So yeah, absolutely. The fact that the Heat have started off strong and they are where they are, I mean, come on, get the Hawks logo out of there. They're definitely better than the Hawks.
All right, so we'll put a logo that you really like, the New York Knicks.
God, I hate that team. I hate that team. F you, Chris, by the way, in case you're watching. And
Yeah.
look, we beat them twice. We're 2-1 against them this year. Obviously, the one game that we lost in the Garden was a game that everybody thought we should have won. The refereeing was a little weird, but the Knicks went off. They had two guys that went off that game, Cat and Landry Shamet. And look,
Landry Shamet game is right.
unfortunately, you're gonna have games like that. But are the Heat better than the Knicks? Absolutely, especially a 2-1 record over them in their first 3 games. 1 game left to go in the season, and yeah, you can get the Knickerbockers out of there because the Heat are no doubt better than the New York Knickerbockers.
I agree. I think that the Knicks are not as deep as people think that they are. Jordan Clarkson's the best. Is a nice player off the bench, but I don't think that they're as deep as people think they are. They're a great rebounding team. Mitchell Robinson and Carl Anthony Towns, obviously, but no, I don't believe in the Knicks. I think that the Heat are better than the Knicks. The fact that they've beaten them twice now, undermanned because we didn't have Tyler Hero. We just haven't been healthy in general. I think that the Heat are. Now we get to the top where we have the Cleveland Cavs. We beat them. It was a really bad shooting night for them, though. They were at full strength, really bad shooting night. And then we played against their reserves 2 days later, and then we lost. The Cleveland Cavs are a team that I won't go out and just be as confident in saying, oh, yeah, we're far better than them. I think that they are a deep team. I think they're a good team. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, even Jared Allen, Darius Garland. Like, they have a solid squad. I think that we're neck and neck with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to see what we look like at full strength. But the Cleveland, I'm not willing to say it yet, Solana.
You know what I'm gonna say. Heat are
Say it.
above the Cleveland Cavaliers. The
Do it.
Cleveland Cavaliers, unfortunately, yes, they're a deep team, but I think the Heat just have a better group of players, and they play a little bit better than the Cavaliers. Yes, I think the Cavaliers are going to be there in the top towards the end of the season, but I think the Heat will be there on top of them. Like you said, we beat them at full strength. They didn't have the greatest shooting night, but look,
Remember, we needed
the
that
Heat didn't have the
miracle
greatest
Andrew
shooting night last
Wiggins.
night. Yeah. Look, it happens, man. It happens. We're gonna have days like that. You're gonna have games where the ball just doesn't go in when you want it to go in, like last night, right? Like last night where they just didn't want to go in, but they found a way to win. And unfortunately, against the reserves, against the Cavs, they didn't find the way to win. But 1-1, I believe we have another game against them in the season, and so my vote goes to the Heat above the Cleveland Cavaliers.
All right. The surprise team so far, the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors have been pushing the pace. They have one of my favorite nicknames for Brandon Ingram, which I think is one of the most underrated players in the NBA, the notorious BI3. I believe he changed his number to the number 3. His initials are BI. So he's called himself the notorious BI3. Very cool nickname. I think he is a baller. And they are, as far as points per game, they are right there in 5th place at 120 per game. The Raptors are a nice team. I don't believe in them like I do some like the Cavs and maybe the next team we're going to talk about. But I guess long question short, we better than the Raptors.
No doubt, no doubt. The Raptors aren't a deep team. They have a fantastic starting lineup with Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Emmanuel
RJ Barrett, I
Quickly.
believe, went down with an injury also, by the way.
Right. But regardless, I mean, looking at their whole team, looking at that lineup, I mean, they are stacked in the starting lineup. But when you get to the bench, that's where unfortunately, I don't think they're deep enough. I don't think they can hang with the Heat. I think they've had a great and a tremendous start to the season, but unfortunately, I think they're going to fall back to earth. The Heat are definitely better than the Toronto Raptors.
And then last but not least, the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, Detroit basketball. Oh, I hate that.
Taking it back to 2005, 2006, right? And I was thinking about it. The Heat have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals 10 times. And it's been the Celtics 4 times, the Pistons twice, the Bulls twice, and the Pacers twice. So we have history with a couple teams, and then the Knicks, right? That's history, but it's never Eastern Conference Finals. So the Pistons being that top team almost feels like it's appropriate because that's the team that the Heat originally ran into with Dwayne Wade and Shaq and all those boys. Detroit looks absolutely amazing this year. They are on a 13-game winning streak, I want to say. Cade Cunningham's finally coming into his own. He's balling. He's creating for others. They look really good. I'm not ready to say that they're better than the Detroit Pistons. I'm okay with saying it over the Cavs, even though I'm a little hesitant. I can't say it over the Pistons, man. I think the Pistons own that throne until the Heat play them twice in the next 10 days.
Look, Danny, I don't agree with you. Unfortunately, when you look at the schedule that the Pistons have, and like you said, you got to play the teams that are in front of you. It's not it's not anything against you. But when you look at who they've beat, right? They beat Boston, they beat Dallas, they beat Memphis, Utah, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Washington, Chicago, Philadelphia again, the Pacers twice, Atlanta, Milwaukee, all teams that are struggling with injuries, or are just not good enough. They're the bottom feeders of the East or Western Conference. So, look, they're better than the Pistons. Yes, Cade Cunningham is having a fantastic season. Duran is having an unbelievable season for them, but they haven't beat anybody. He
looks like a better Ben Wallace. That motherfucker's jacked.
He is. But hey, Ben Wallace couldn't shoot. This guy can actually shoot a little bit.
He's a better, yeah.
Oh, so look, man, I'm saying, man, the Heat are the best team in the East when you look at it and you look and see who their opponents have played. Unfortunately, yeah, they're on a 13-game winning streak, but they haven't played anybody. So how can you say that they're good when they haven't played anybody? They haven't gotten into the meat of their schedule where they play the tough teams, and they're not going to get into that meat of the schedule until January. So lucky for them, they have a pretty easy schedule now coming up in the end of November and December, and they can continue streaking. But that doesn't mean that they're better than the Heat. That just means that they don't play anybody. The Heat, like I said, have had one of the most toughest schedules in the NBA, especially in the month of November, playing the most playoff teams from last year that they're going to play all season in a month. And they're still in third place. They're still 12-6, and to me, they are the best team in the Eastern Conference right now.
I'm with you. F it. You turn me around. F the Pistons. I think that the Heat are the best team in the East also now after what you just said. The fact that Miami has had such a hard schedule to start the year, they have not been healthy. Tyler Hero finally comes back after missing 17 games, and then Norman Powell goes down. We haven't seen this team at full strength, and they still managed to start the season 12-6. They are leading the league in scoring. They are surprisingly, right? Because what's our weak point? Rebounding. We are third in the league. I'm sure Khalil Ware's last couple of games have a lot to do with that. We are third in the league in rebounding. We're shooting lights out from three. Well, we've come back to earth a little bit with Fontecchio, but this team has looked solid. The offense is rolling. Defensively, we're top 5, I want to say, defensively. Like, this team is doing big things. The schedule is going to get easier as we go on. And now everybody's talking about Coach Spo. This is what Coach Spo does. You remember last year after Jimmy Butler got traded, how everybody's like, oh, that's it. They did Jimmy Butler like that. Nobody's want to come to Miami. How long did that last? Month or two? All of a sudden, the narrative has changed again. All of a sudden, the Heat are that franchise again. Everybody wants John Morant to come over here because we fix players. Like, this is the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they're going to show it when they beat.
No doubt. And like you said, looking at the schedule coming up, the toughest games they have coming up, they have Detroit a couple times. They have, Toronto coming up at the end of December. But other than that, they play Boston, they play Brooklyn, they play Orlando, teams, that they should definitely win against. And look, I'm glad that I convinced you. I hope folks that are watching this are also thinking the same. Drop your comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you think is better than the Heat, if anybody is better than the Heat. And Danny, man, I'm so excited. My birthday, big NBA Cup day. The Heat, like we were talking about, are the best team in the East in our opinion. I mean, it can't get any better, man. We got Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And don't forget to get your T-shirts on batteredfans.com. Black Friday, this Friday, Cyber Monday. Don't forget to get your T-shirts. Don't forget to get your hottest T-shirts of the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Batteredfans.com, promo code Black Friday 25 for 25% off starting today all the way till next Monday, which is Cyber Monday. If you're listening on audio, leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. The Heat are the best in the East. and we're going for the throne. We'll be back tomorrow talking about Bucks recap. So until the next one, have a good one.